We'll call this meeting to order. This is the September 16th, 2025 meeting of the Landmarks and Historic Districts Board for the town of Southampton. Present are members Stephanie Davis, William Hine, Susan Sherry Clark, Tim Ganettis, Jeff Gibbons, Larry Jones, Vicky Kahn, and myself, Ed Wisnowski. I'm not sure if Samantha is coming or not. This meeting is being conducted under town and New York State law that provides for in-person and remote participation. Individuals may undertake remote participation by going to the link on the Landmarks Board agenda or by going to the meeting portal of the town clerk on the Southampton Town website. Viewer-only observation is found by activating the live link at the top of the town clerk's meeting portal page. Online participation is being moderated by CTV and tonight by Peter. For comment on a particular agenda item, please notify CTV via chat function so that comment can be made. Commentators will need to provide name, agency, if relevant, and the place of business or residence. The first item on our agenda tonight is the August 19, 2025 meeting minutes, which were distributed. And I believe, Stephanie, were there any comments about them?
I did not receive any comments from anyone.
Okay. With that in mind, I will move their approval. Is there a second? By Jeff. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the minutes are approved. And we have Samantha as well in attendance. I'll do the agenda routine tonight. So the first item on the agenda is 26 Fairview Avenue, Quogue. It's a proposed demolition for a dwelling that has an AYB on it of 1910. And as well, a garage. And Bill, you prepared a report for this?
Yes.
Let me see if I can figure out where it's buried here. Okay.
Okay. So there are no Town of Southampton building permits or certificates of occupancy or compliance that have ever been issued on this property. Although there is the modest single-story dwelling containing 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, along with a living dining space and a kitchen, and there's also the detached garage with AYBs of 1910, but no permits or certificates have ever been issued on either one of them. The property is not listed in the Southampton Historic Resources Survey, the AKRF, nor the 2008 historical profile of the hamlet of Quogue, and neither report shows any historic resources in the immediate area of the subject property. The area containing Fairview Avenue and the subject property is not included on the 1873 Beers, Comstock, and Klein map, nor the 1902 Atlas of Suffolk County by Belcher Hyde, or the 1916 Atlas of the Ocean Shore of Suffolk County by Belcher Hyde. And the property cannot be clearly seen on any of the aerial photographs. Fairview Avenue is shown on the 1932 H.F. Bishop map of West Hampton Beach, but the road is unnamed. The Bishop maps do not include structures on them, and the subject property is shown but has no owner's name called out on the map. Therefore, the property has not been identified with any personage, and the dates of the construction for the dwelling and the detached garage cannot be determined from the historic maps. Looking at the construction methods and materials, it appears to be that 1910 or shortly after would make sense for the construction of both buildings. The dwelling has an enclosed front porch that appears to have previously been an open porch. There's also an enclosed rear entry that appears to be a previous early addition to the house. The siding is currently vinyl. The roofing is currently asphalt. The windows appear to be original and in fair condition in the main mass of the dwelling and the rear addition, but have newer contemporary windows in the enclosed front porch. Probably what saved the windows in the main portion of the house was that they all have triple track storm and screen combination units on them. Not attractive from the outside, but do their job in protecting the old wood windows. There are mature trees, as you can see on the 2003 GIS photo, and none of them exist any longer. There are no gutters and leaders on the dwelling, and the cellar would have benefited from having them. The central brick chimney is in poor condition inside and outside of the dwelling. The enclosed porch is now sloping down approximately 6 inches, which was not the case in the 2003 GIS photograph. Inside the house, the wall and ceiling paint is peeling badly. Most of the wood floors are in fair condition. Refinishing the wood floors could bring them back to their original condition. Inside the rear door of the plywood subfloor is delaminating, and many of the vinyl floor tiles have come loose. There's a large grate in the center of the house for a floor furnace that was still in use until recently. The house does not have central heat or air conditioning. The original wood roofing shingles can be seen in the attic. They have been covered with an asphalt roof on the exterior, and it is in serviceable condition. The west gable end window is in fair condition. The framing inside is in good condition. There's one original wooden support post in the basement, which now has a steel column added next to it to help it out. Another steel column was added next to the brick chimney. The brick chimney was originally corbelled out to create a ledge to support the center girder. The electric panels in the basement are outdated with threaded glass fuses. There's an original coal bin down in the cellar, which still has quite a bit of coal in it. The detached garage board and batten doors slide with some difficulty on an overhead track. The horizontal shiplap siding on the detached garage has been leaking for some time and shows signs of water staining on the interior of the garage. The original wood shingle roof has been removed from the garage and replaced with plywood roof sheathing and asphalt roof shingles. The framing is in good condition, although the roof is in very poor condition and is leaking. The subject property appears to have been developed with the current dwelling in the detached garage circa 1910 on a property that has no known family associations. The property is not identified as an historic resource, and no historic resources are identified in the property vicinity. The current dwelling has previously been modified by enclosing the front porch, adding the rear porch, as well as having all of the historic materials, including roofing and siding, replaced. This property does not appear to meet any of the criteria for consideration as a landmark under the Town of Southampton Code, and I felt the Landmarks Board should have no objection to the demolition of the dwelling and the detached garage, as they do not possess any historic importance or historic exterior materials. Yeah, that's interesting, that window. That wall is clad on the inside in corrugated cardboard.
Really?
This is in the house?
No, this is in the detached garage.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And, yeah, they covered that wall in corrugated cardboard. And the cardboard looks fairly old, but it was in pretty good condition. But an odd thing to put up on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you can see where the roof, the wood shingles have been removed, the lath is still there, but it's been plywooded and asphalt roofed over. But to find the pile of coal in the basement was the big surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. It's quite a bit, and it must have been there for a long time, and surprising that And they never got it out of there.
Did they still have the chute to deliver it?
They do, off to the side of it, back, there it is. It's just one block missing from the wall.
Yeah, but did they have the metal chute?
Oh, no, they didn't have the
Okay.
chute inside, no,
Yeah,
no. I didn't find that.
yeah.
Well, a ready supply for Christmas gifts.
Yeah, there you go.
Uh-huh.
Was that relatively small, those chunks of colas, it's like pea size, or is it?
No, they were chunks. Some of the
Big-
larger pieces were fairly flat, though.
I was out in Utah, everything was about the consistency of gravel. And I think it's because it was they use auto stoker kind of stoves.
Okay.
That had a screw that.
Yeah, it
pushed
kind of
stuff.
feeds them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But there wasn't any sign of any sort of boiler or furnace or anything down there that would have used the coal. Interesting that it had the, what they call the floor furnace, which
Yeah.
most mortgage companies won't mortgage a house if it has one of those. Basically, the combustion chamber sits in the middle of the unit, and if it ever cracks, all of those fumes get right out into the
Oh, yeah.
air,
Yep.
into the
I
dwelling.
used to have a house that had those, or had one,
Mm-hmm,
put out a huge amount of heat.
yeah,
The dogs only have to step on that grate about once to
yeah,
understand.
to know not to, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But what powered that? It wasn't gas. The flow.
I know, oil,
Oil, it was oil.
yeah, yeah, there was an oil tank in the basement.
This is the GIS map, and I found some clearer maps to look
Did you?
at.
Oh, okay,
This is the property here outlined in orange with the one-story house basically on the more southerly half or portion of the lot, which is also kind of the case for some of the neighboring houses that were there.
yeah,
And looking at the 1938 map, this is the house,
okay,
Yep,
and this is the garage that was in place. And then, again, looking at this kind of convergence of the roads, and looking at the 1930 map, there's nothing there.
okay,
yeah. So mid-1930s.
I think this is called Homestead Avenue, and this would be before Fairview Avenue was opened and the subdivision might have taken place. I didn't see any subdivision map, in trying to check for a date for it. But in any case, I think the date is basically, the 1938 map shows a relatively settled landscape around the house, but fairly new. Some of the other houses along it look new with an unsettled landscape about them. So I think maybe, it might be 1936, 1937 or so that
okay,
that house is dated from. And I think the problem is that, the dating in the assessors records are done by either a map that they found or a subdivision date that they found, and that's about as accurate as they can get, and it's not always a real accurate one. I don't know how much, whether that, for example, the foundation looks a little newer than 1910.
that's what Stephanie and I were talking about the other day. It has poured concrete steps, and then the entire foundation, which is under the entire original mass of the house, is all concrete block.
Yeah, so I think it's, a later house than,
Okay.
was originally given in the assessors report there.
All that vegetation that shows up in that picture there, that's not forest, that's low-growing shrubs of some kind, just.
Basically, yes, it's undeveloped scrub oak
It
or
looks
whatever.
awfully dense.
Pine
Yeah.
barrens.
Is it
Pine
like
barrens.
pine barrens?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
And that's pretty dense.
Well, I mean, and you look at the.
No, I
upper
know,
part,
I know what you mean, because it's dark, it's like
Yeah,
a different
well,
color.
same in that one too, isn't it?
They merge aerial photographs sometimes, so even though part of it looks light, it could be just a different photograph. that
Oh,
Spliced
okay.
together.
Uh-huh,
They splice it.
okay.
No?
If you go back to 1930, Ed, you can see how the north part looks lighter.
Yeah.
In reality, it's probably the same
Same
density.
stuff, okay.
This happens, this 1930 map is right at the edge of a photograph of an aerial. So this was, and that's what when I did the tinkering with the other maps, I had to keep that in mind, otherwise I would have had a little bit different, bigger picture. But this is the only map that had a picture of this area. And the series that this comes from Stony Brook, black and white aerials, of Long Island. And they don't have every one that was ever issued. There are maps that are kind of located in between, but they have not scanned, or they didn't have them to scan into their digital archive for use. But anyway, yes, kind of tinkering with the different aspects of the map, I'm sure goes on all the time. So your recommendation is for
Objection.
no objection to the demolition for both the house and the garage? And is there any other comment from the board with respect to that? So our consensus is no objection, and Bill, would you do the
Yes.
paperwork on that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, the digital record for the house and the garage itself, again, is quite impressive in terms of detailing the character of the building. So. Okay. So with that, we can go to 18 Dewey Lane, which is a proposed first and second story addition. That's not the one. That's not the one. This house is located, I should get a perspective map here for 18 Dewey Lane. Located off of Red Creek Road and on Peconic Bay. This fairly small parcel, again, Bayside in character. And this proposal is to roof over an open deck area that they have, to do a two-story addition to the house, and to add to the front of the house a portico to the building. And in looking at the application, the building itself looks like it's been modified several times over. This is the deck, I presume, that they want to roof over. Windows look redone. The house has an AYB of 1940. So as you can see, I think the house doesn't have much architectural character from the past on it. Oh. So it'll be as well to expand the garage area for the house as well. These are basically, there are some other elevations here that are in it. But I don't see that there is any historical significance to be preserved on this house in any fashion. I don't know if there's comments otherwise with respect to this. So I will, if there's no problem with that, respond with a no objection back to the building department.
My quick comment is I saw that it was called Tunnel Terrace, and I think there was, an Arthur Tunnel? There was some fellow that did a lot of real estate developments, and so my guess and it was 1928 subdivision that affordable housing for a lot of, not affordable, but for people coming out for the city, seasonal type thing, so.
Where did you see that?
Tunnel Terrace, so that's my comment.
Okay, anyway, we will move on. 39 Tuckahoe Lane was reviewed for the agenda by Susan and myself, and we want to just...
39 Tuckahoe Lane, we reviewed that in, I believe it was 2022 for a new addition, or excuse me, a new entranceway. And we had no objection to that. And when this application is basically for they're converting the garage to living space, and the construction application for this one is for a rear entrance door that will not be seen from the street. And it is an AKRF, and it's in the Art Village. And the house has a AYB of 1892. The garage is not listed separately, so it implies it's part of the house, but based on the other application that appears to be completed, and this is only for a rear door, we felt that didn't warrant any review. Vicki and I did do a site visit from the road for the original one, and that seems to be complete. My only comment is that I haven't had a chance to go back out. The day I drove past, it was a busy day. Either the people were working there or there were people staying there. So I didn't, get out to look closer. But the portico of the new entrance was supposed to have a gable roof, and it ended up with a shed roof. That what I could see from the road, not that I have any objection to that, because that was the area that had the shed roof there anyway. But I just thought it was interesting that the plans changed, but no concern about it, but that's my only comment. So
And
the rear entrance, Vicki, Susan, and Ed, I sent it out. No, didn't warrant further review.
And you responded to the
I
building
responded,
department with that, right, okay. 107 Edgemere Drive, North Sea. This is a AYB 1915 dwelling. I could not find it on the 1916 Hyde maps, and had difficulty. I thought it was present on the 1938 map, aerial map, but it's very hard to discern. It's not as good as the one that I showed previously for 26 Fairview. So the question was whether or not that property, is dated there. Jeff visited the site,
Yeah, I was there.
provided some images for the site. And
It's basically one of the many bungalows that sits along the bay at the very edge of the Roses Grove area.
yeah, this is the garage that is away
coming-
from the
Right,
bayside.
that's being demolished.
Yeah,
They're adding 2 bedrooms to that side, plus a bedroom on the second floor.
and this is the southern exposure of the house, landward, that you took.
That's the back of the garage.
Back.
Garage seems to be, I looked into every window, and well, one window didn't, but every other window had a bed somewhere, like there were stacks of beds. I don't know, like they must have mass company on the weekends or something. There was a bathroom in that little house, too. I mean, the little garage.
Yeah, it looks like there's some plumbing and outdoor
Yeah.
shower there too, yeah.
That, the building itself is, concrete block, foundation. The siding is vinyl, the windows are vinyl. The roof is, now you can see also, they're gonna go up a second story and a deck, but it's not on the water side. It's back a little, and they are leaving, well, they're taking those windows that were an enclosed porch out and making that enclosed porch part of the living room. So they're gonna change those windows. And then you will see that little hip gable. I can't think of the word for it now. But as you can see next door, there's already a 2-story house there that with its deck right on the front, and the house on the other side sticks out even further with 2 stories of deck. This house is going to be much more true to its beginning, because there's only going to be 1 bedroom and a bathroom on the second floor, and then there's the deck, but the deck the deck stops before it gets to that, it doesn't go all the way to the front.
Right.
So that front will pretty much look the same, except with something behind it.
So,
I didn't see
so
that,
there's no neighborhood context,
no.
similarities.
I mean, I took that picture so you could see there was once an old cottage down there, and I had a friend that lived, this is 107, and she lived at 117, and I was like, where did she live? That long gone. And mowed down with a huge mega house. This is further down the street, but I just mean that they're all being picked off.
No. So you don't see any issues here?
I don't see any major, I mean, for a renovation, it's somewhat sensitive. It's a little more sensitive than most of the things that I've come across.
These are very long and narrow lots.
Yeah.
I think they were originally, when they were subdivided, they were twice as big. And later on, they were split into smaller pieces, but because you can see that some houses here sit on larger lots.
I think it's .46 acres. And just looking very quickly, it may still be in the same family that's had it since around 1970, just based on the last name, so.
So, no problems with this, and I'll file the paperwork, and thanks for getting the images
Sure.
together, so. Okay, 52 Bay Avenue, Hampton Bays. This is a curious lot in terms of having an L shape to it and having potentially a subdivision made to it eventually, but in any case, this application is to propose a replacement of a sunroom with a one-story addition. And let's see if I can get the application here. So this is the sunroom, I believe, to come off. Bay window in the gable. A cement shingled former garage, I think. So that's the structure that's being worked on. I didn't see anything of significance here, either in the neighborhood or with respect to this property. It's not identified in any way. Does anyone have any thoughts about this otherwise? Otherwise, I would recommend no objection. And so, without any comments, I'll return a report of no objection to the building department. Okay. No referrals at present. With respect to pending landmark and historic district applications, Stephanie is up for October 9th.
October 9 for the work session for 149 South Country Road in Remsenburg and 11 Walnut in East Quogue. And October 28th for the public hearing for the same two landmarks.
On those two properties.
Yes, on the two properties, yep.
Stony Brook, Southampton Windmill, did you just want to make a comment, Susan?
Yes, I was just. Okay, I am familiar with it, as we all are. It's been on our agenda for a while, and made a site visit myself years ago. But recently, and I think it was on the 20th, it was on August 20th, there was an article in the Southampton Press stating that there's been a change of thought on behalf of the Stony Brook University, that the current director said they are now planning on restoring and refurbishing the windmill themselves. They want to keep it there. They have no interest And that windmill leaving that property, they want to keep it on the Southampton College. And there was a director of the operations that they've stated that they've already taken the sails down to start refurbishing, and they're going to be in storage. And an amount of money has been allocated from the, I believe, the New York State budget, but that amount wasn't given. But they are committed to restoring the windmill on the campus.
Okay. Well, our past involvement in this has involved the presumption of a potential lease agreement between the town of Southampton and the State University of New York for this windmill, and it appears that that is not any thing that is a possibility at this point in time. So my suggestion is we remove it from the agenda, and if there is some other concern or issue in the future, it can be raised and we can wind up discussing it then, rather than having it presented at every meeting. So, 62 Old Riverhead Road, Hampton Bays. I have not made any progress since in the last 2 months on that, by virtue of time elements, primarily not having that available to finish it, but I do hope to get it done soon, and get a revisit of this issue before taking it to the town board again. So 292 Majors Path, as we are reminded that the owner is interested in a landmark recommendation, but wants to await some other things and asks us to defer any progress on it. The North Sea Schoolhouse Maintenance Award, I sent a reminder 3 weeks ago that the evidence of the bills paid should be provided, and was pledged that that would happen. I sent another reminder today to the treasurer of the North Sea Schoolhouse, Community Schoolhouse, about that pledge. So we still await that before a town board resolution for payment of the maintenance award that was made to them. Other matters, historic landscapes. The planning board has accepted as complete an application for 819 Lumber Lane for an equestrian facility on a 28-acre parcel. And we asked for that last year, and they said, well, it was only a pre-submission conference report and an application, that the application wasn't complete and then it wasn't referred. But now that the application is completed as of the 11th, I would like to see the application and consideration of that area, because that was outlined in the comprehensive plan as a scenic corridor. And the planned structure of an equestrian center involves not only equestrian facilities, stables, and indoor riding rink, outdoor paddocks, but also staff housing. I forget how many staff housing units are to be built with it as well, on an agricultural reserve. And the property has on it an easement that advocates for the preservation of the scenic and aesthetic value of that property. So that's something I think we should discuss and have a chance to have input. I believe they've scheduled a public hearing on the application for maybe the 28th of October.
What's the address, 819?
What's that? 819 Lumber Lane, yeah. North Edge, North something Stables.
I'll make sure they refer it.
State National Register of Historic Places. Nominations are of always importance as far as SHPO is concerned. And there are little glitches here and there in some past events associated with some landmarks in the town of Southampton. But the Corwin Jones house that we reviewed at last meeting for the State Historic Preservation Office, they approved it for the National and State Register of Historic Places on September 11th. So just about a week ago. So
Did you get an email?
I got informal notice from Kirk Flack, yeah, but no formal notification to I think the officials yet of the town. No. And the video of the meeting was not online yet, so I'm taking the informal notification that I got. Okay, and certify local government activity. The annual report for the town of Southampton is due November 15th, 2000. I don't know, did you get notification at all, or? Okay. Okay, well, that's good. And there are a number of things in the shadows, so to speak. One is we were discussing the possibility of getting a certified local government grant possibility for work on the Bridgehampton Historic District. The reports do have to be in for that to be at least allowed as a grant application. The other aspect of that is because we have the October 28th public hearing and probable resolutions for the landmarking of those two properties, that it would be good to wait until they're approved to include those in the annual report. So,
Right, to include them in the annual report. But if we're pursuing a grant, we have an issue of timing there to get into this fiscal period. If you want to pursue a grant for the historic
Right.
district, the residential district in Bridgehampton.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the report done by November 15th. That's basically it, yeah.
But the application has to be received by the end of October.
Right, yes, October 31st.
Right, so it's a little bit of a,
Well, that.
the report that
Yeah,
we'll do everything we can to get,
the application
the
can go in presumably, before October 31st, but they won't review that right away, so.
understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah, and then the other kind of thing that's involved, that the grant is not, is a grant that is for reimbursement and not, upfront money. So money has to be spent and authorized and spent for the project, and then proof provided to the state of New York that's reimbursable. So that, that'll take place 2028, so the way things go. But let's hope not, but I'm exaggerating. But anyway, yes, that's something I think to, stay and keep up as important too. So I don't know, is there any other things that are of significance that?
What about the COA discussion for 2405 Montauk Highway in Bridgehampton? That's the Serhant real estate matter. Is that still pending?
Right.
The
pending
violations?
clearance of the violation. The representative sent an email about a week ago or less than a week ago, said they have heard nothing from the town of Southampton. So there's been no progress on the clearance of the violation at this point in time. And there was then, she asked if there needed to be an extension. And in reviewing the minutes and the meeting, we had made that extension in the meeting. So that basically awaits the events associated with clearing out the notice of violation. So we'll see what happens by next month.
Ed, was that extension a date certain, or did it just say until the violation was?
Until the violation was cleared, yes.
Ed, I just have one request. In preparing the fiscal year report for the state, for SHPO, just make sure if you've taken any continuing education, or you get those certificates into Renee, that would be really helpful, because we need to include that in the report. Thank you.
And I will say I'm, from last year's report that you did, it was wonderful, and I made the comment to David that I didn't realize how good a job we were doing until you summarized it.
Well, this year we did an even better job.
Okay.
Actually, this year, I mentioned to everybody, I was blown away by the number of projects that we actually reviewed. Last year was about 90, this year is about 123 different projects. That's a lot of work for all of you guys.
And thank you for all the attention you're giving to it. It's very valuable effort, yeah. So, is there anything else to be brought before us? Dave, you have nothing? Okay. With that, no further business. This meeting is adjourned at 7:48.